won't change the weather report for us. I don't know. Somebody's paying them off, I guess. Must be those communists.
All the hot and stickies encroaching in here in the form of mold.
Well, I might have to leave then. Hey, so get out there, take your walk this morning. I already saw some people out getting some exercise. It's good COVID-killing weather. No scientific study has been completed on the effectiveness of the face masks. So get outside, take that mask off, and breathe properly so you can kill that COVID, because face mask is virtually useless.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you now at talk973.com or talk1041.com. Top middle of the page is where that link's located on your mobile device. Fire up YouTube and put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're just needing our audio stream on your mobile device, fire up any streaming app such as TuneIn, iTunes, or Streamer. Many others work too. Just put WEEB in the search. And if you're on the website at talk973.com or talk1041.com, upper right-hand corner of every web page has an icon that says on the air, listen live. Click that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Like the Colonel said, just the same old muggies continue on. Our temperature highs will be in the 80s for at least the next 10 days, thanks to a little shift in the jet stream. But the humidity will make up for it and still douse you with a big bowl of sweat. Partly cloudy today. Isolated thunderstorms likely. High of 87. Heat index 94. Then tonight, mostly cloudy. Thunderstorms likely. A low of 71. Tomorrow, more of the same. 86 for a high. Heat index 94. Tomorrow night, more of the same. A low of 70. Saturday, same thing. 87. Heat index 92. Sunday, heat index 92. Monday, partly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, 88 for a high, heat index 94. And it just goes on and on from there. It's just no relief. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds in north-northeast 3, visibility 7 statute miles. Pressure is 2997, dew point 72. Anything above 70 is in the super muggy range. Anything 68 and down, 68 to 63. Well, let's put it this way. Anything above 68 is oppressive. 68 to 63 is muggy. 63 and below, you start feeling some relief from the mugginess. So that's the range you want to be in, 63 and below. When it gets in the 50s, it starts feeling pretty good on your skin. Right now, like I said, dew point 72, humidity 96%. It's cloudy and 73 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 7:36, 36 past the hour. I don't know if you heard Sleepy Joe's and Kamala's press conference yesterday. Oh, that's right. They didn't take questions, so it was just a speech yesterday, straight from the teleprompters.
They didn't take questions?
No, they ushered everybody out as soon as they got through telling them what they wanted to tell them.
Well, I heard somebody ask, hey, where are you going? Didn't they answer it? I saw Joe point to the door.
When Kamala got through, she says, now over to you, Joe. That's what it said on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
But anyway, they Joe, of course, there was saying, this is real leadership. I'm real leadership. Let's just trim a little bit of the Constitution right off of it, the Bill of Rights. Yeah. Let's just trim that off while I'm president, because it will not apply to you. This will be a dictatorship. Why, we won't even read that damn thing for a while. And just take away your rights to do what you want to do with your life. Such as, when you're outside, you will wear a mask. Period.
Yep.
Want to mow the grass? Take off your mask. You must wear a mask.
Right. Outside, outside in your own yard, nobody else around.
Yeah.
and you got to wear a mask. Maybe a squirrel hopping by or something.
Yeah, you want to run in the woods all by yourself, you must wear a mask.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Joe Mencha.
It's kind of like you want to watch a tree fall in the woods, you must wear a mask. The hell, your constitutional rights, we'll just trim that right out of the Constitution.
Well, you know how
it's a pesky thing.
It's even here. Somebody on Facebook noted that at one of the local eateries here, somebody walked in, didn't have a mask, and he was accosted. Someone actually laid hands on him and wanted to know where his mask was. It wasn't me. Nobody would have laid hands on me, and it would have been a little bit more of a story. You'd probably be reading about that thing on the news this morning.
Don't have right to assault someone, period.
No, that's assault and battery.
Yeah.
You lay hands, just grab them by the shoulder apparently, but that's what's ridiculous. Somebody, hey, you should really put your mask on, yeah, and let it go at that. But no, you got to put your hands on somebody.
Now, I do believe in a private store, it's their sandbox, their rules. If they want you to wear a mask in their place, they get the right to set the rules.
As we have said all along.
Yeah, and if I don't want to play by the rules, then I go somewhere else.
Right. The local eateries, the supermarkets, etc., have to abide by the rules. Otherwise, they get in trouble. And you'll have one of the Raleigh Nazis come down here and want to close them down because you're not enforcing your mask or the illegal mask edict. But
some of the professional organizations, such as the medical organizations and doctors and dentists require, and the health department requires certain rules, like you have to wear the mask to your table,
right?
And stuff like that.
No, I've what was interesting, I think it was yesterday, I read an article, fairly extensive article that says all this mask stuff is not based on any scientific studies, like the scientific studies that Dr. Faustus insists have to be done before they will approve hydrochloroquine and other effective drugs. Well, it's just ancillary, and anecdotal evidence, etc. No scientific study has been done to show that those drugs actually work. Well, no scientific study has actually been done on masks to show they work. And in fact, there were some other things here that indicate especially homemade masks, the ones that people have been making are absolutely worthless.
Yeah, there's story after story of people who have written themselves about they were knocking on death's door when their doctor gave them the hydrochloroquine and the Z-Pack. Right. And guess what? They recovered starting at that point.
Yeah. But, again, since there were no control groups, no scientific method to it.
If I'm about to die, I don't care.
Yeah, well, exactly. But, I think our governor has forbidden to have it prescribed.
That's because we've already proven he's an idiot.
Well, yeah, we knew that when
he wants to stay stuck in the past forever. And talk to you like a third grader. Okay, boys and girls, only I, Governor Cooper, knows how to do things. You will stay stuck in your homes forever.
But none of this
until I say it's safe to come out.
None of this is based on a true scientific method, etc., in regard to the face mask. Now there have been studies that have shown hydrochloroquine is effective. There's another drug that's effective, etc. Your doctor mentioned to you the other day that something that you're already taking is
lisinopril
is effective in a certain aspect of this COVID thing.
It keeps the lisinopril from attaching to your lungs. Keeps the COVID-19 from attaching to your lungs because it takes away the protein it needs to do so.
Right. Well, here's my question. Now you got that as a one-on-one conversation with your doctor.
Yeah.
What was the scientific method, experiments done to show this? And then, why isn't this widespread knowledge?
Yeah.
And
I think it is amongst the medical community because he got it out of a journal that did studies. But he said a lot of doctors around here were switching their patients.
Right.
Or taking heart blood pressure medicine.
Which is a great thing if you're otherwise eligible for it, et cetera. That's a great thing. But, my point is, none of this is being ballyhooed anywhere.
But it reduces their chances of catching it by 75%.
Well, I know. That's great. But why hasn't that been advertised, et cetera? And why don't people know this on a widespread knowledge?
I don't know, but they need to.
We listen to all this crap about masks that are absolutely useless. We hear that every freaking day. We hear it from morons out in the street. We have people grabbing people in stores and going nuts over masks that don't work. But, we have something like that might actually be effective for a lot of people. And no, apparently it's not worth disseminating that knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. The other thing that really ticked me off at the little Democratic presser yesterday was when Kamala came out and said, in her little crying voice, she says, "Oh, the Biden Obama administration gave the Trump administration an expanding economy, and he drove it straight in the ground."
They stand there, they just tell outright lies. Nobody holds them to task and exposes the lie. Nobody will say a word about the lie, except
she left out a little piece of the story. The big piece was, well, first of all, we went through 8 years of stagnation. We went through 8 years of high unemployment. We went through 8 years of not being able to get jobs. We went through 8 years of watching our manufacturing ship overseas, and your commander-in-chief saying, well, those jobs are gone forever, and money being tight and not being able to get reasonable rates on a lot of things for businesses. Businesses were dying on the vine, and all like a good for an hour. And then, of course, along comes Trump, who knocks off these regulations. Oh, and reinstated the leases on federal land for oil drilling.
Right.
And all of a sudden, we get a glut of oil that brings oil prices down, and businesses can manufacture at a reasonable rate and encourage businesses to come back to America. American manufacturing jobs come back. Cost of goods go down. Americans feel strong again. They go out and spend money. The economy boosts up. Unemployment rates go down for all segments of our economy. And we not only full employment, but full employment plus some. And then we have the greatest economy ever in the history of the United States. Then a little thing called COVID comes along. We shut it down. Oh, and then Kamala, we add more jobs than your wonderful team of Barack Obama and Joe Biden did in their whole 8 years in the last 3 friggin' months. Yeah, we drove it in the ground, did we?
Yeah, I don't understand.
And your people won't go on vacation when people need help. You all go on vacation.
Right.
And won't even talk about it.
Because part of the deal has to be to bail out New York and California and their corrupt and bankrupt public sector pension plans.
Exactly.
Actually, where in states where when a public servant retires and actually makes more money than they did when they were working.
Yeah, that's your leadership. Go on vacation.
Yeah. Well,
bunch of clowns that don't know anything.
And surprisingly, our economy competed favorably. We were beating the hell out of the Chinese, who produced things with slave labor. NBA. Who is it? Reeboks or PF Flyers? Who's the sneaker company for the NBA?
Nike.
Oh, Nike. Yeah, those clowns. Yeah, building all that stuff, making all that stuff with slave labor in China, and we competed at
iPhones,
beating them. Oh, hey, here's
Samsung.
one. Here's one I just found out yesterday. Here, it even impacts Old Moore County here. Apparently, all the computers, et cetera, that they like to hand out free of charge to all the kids.
Chrome.
Yeah, there's going to be a delay because, quote unquote, the Chinese people who manufacture them in China have gone on strike, and they're not going to produce any. So there's going to be a delay in getting them into September for the new school season. So students are going to be without these. Can you believe
workers want to make 26 cents an hour?
Oh, yeah. Chinese workers went on strike. Are you kidding me? The Chinese government shut the thing down. That's what they did. There's no strike in China. Jesus, you think there's a union in China, the communist utopia in China, and you think there's unions over there looking out for people?
They just hang them upside down till they're ready to go back to work.
Well, oh man, yeah, there's no strike in China, people. There's the communist government shutting it down because it affects our school system. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you think that the Chinese are not trying to impact every aspect of our lives over here, you're absolutely incorrect.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you got to remember, people like Biden, Kamala Harris, they've worked for government all their life, and they think they know how to run private enterprise. That's what's been so good about Trump. You got a guy who's been out here in the trenches with the rest of us all his life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit different trench than you and I walk in.
Yeah.
But still, he's got a feel for the flavor of it. And they have no clue. Their solution is to go, no, we're going to help out our buddies in New York and Los Angeles because they ran their pension plans in the ground from borrowing it from it forever. And now they can't pay it, and they expect us to take your tax money and go bail them out again. So I don't see the reasoning behind that, because they can't manage their money, that we have to go bail them out, and they want to use us as hostages because we need relief from the coronavirus. Well, let's use that as a hostage point to go bail out their pension fund. Let them go out in the free market, borrow the money, bail themselves out, and tax themselves for it.
Right.
It's not our problem. Coronavirus is our problem because it's everybody's problem. You know, they can have their share of that relief for those out of work, but not the pension fund.
Yeah.
But they want to, it's just like the Lincoln Center. What the hell business was that of the rest of the world to throw $25 million over there for that?
Or give money to Harvard or any of these.
Yeah.
Oh, and
They have access to money.
Oh, George Soros funded entities, took money. I mean, money. Robert De Niro, the clown that can't speak,
comes out and says
using,
F Trump at every
other word is F this in his language. And his companies, he has several restaurants, et cetera, that took several $1 million a piece or something. So the money's good when you get
restaurants.
It. Yep.
Yeah, but he's out there with his hands stuck out. But regardless, we need to keep people employed or get them back employed. And we're trying to, but the Democrats won't even come to the table and talk. Not until we get our pension bailout funds. They call it something else, but that's what it boils down to.
Oh, they always have a good name for it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the exact opposite of what the name is.
It's an investment. Right. It's a stick it to the taxpayer. And what do they do in the meantime? Oh, we're going on vacation.
Right.
Yeah. We have to go talk to our constituents. Well, how about get them employed first?
I wish they'd stay on vacation. Just stay out.
The sad thing is the constituents sit there and vote them right back in, like sheep to the slaughter.
Well, and
every time.
They're going to make it easier with this mail-in ballot crap, too.
And the big corps fund them every time.
Yeah, well,
because it keeps them big corps.
I'm waiting for the bailouts for Portland and Seattle, where they've gone through and done all their rioting and stuff, and get the federal government to pay for that too. Have you seen the?
I don't mind bailing out the small businesses that got beat up.
Yeah,
but the big corps, I don't know.
Well, the feds pulled out of Portland, protecting the federal courthouse. The state police went in to protect the courthouse, and now they're going to pull out because the arrests, et cetera, they've made. The prosecutor out there in Portland,
they let them go.
Refuses to prosecute any of those cases. So the state police are saying, well, we're not going to hang around here if nothing's going to get prosecuted. We've got other places we need to be.
And no consequences to the action.
Right.
So let them have it. And over in Seattle, they're jumping up and down saying, well, this is reparations. This isn't a crime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, part of that is, hey, we'll just go steal TVs out of the Target store, and that's part of our reparations. Yeah, there you go. And now they're marching around in the communities saying, hey, get out of our house. That's our house. You people need to turn over your house to all those black people. And if you look at the crowd, the first front, I've seen several of these videos now. The people out in front of the little mob that's out there doing all the yelling and screaming, they're black people, but when you look behind that, they're all white people standing back there. It's ridiculous. They're communists is all they are. That's all this is.
Well, it's going to be interesting if we ever get to the debates to watch Trump just destroy Biden. He's going to get bitch slapped across that stage so bad he ain't going to know what hit him.
Biden isn't even going to know he's there.
When he tells Trump he ran the economy in the ground.
Joe Mencha. Yeah.
You know, I've been waiting for you to say that. Let me tell you about your economy first. Then I'll tell you about my economy.
Yeah, in 1 year he turned it around. And I had clowns telling me when everything that first year when he really started doing some things and getting rid of some of the regulations, getting the companies to move back here. Well, that's Obama's. That's Obama. That's on Obama. That's his economy. And I just look at you're an idiot.
First, all throughout Obama's economy, he goes when it didn't perform. And was just bouncing at the bottom. He going, oh, that's Bush's economy. Bush's economy. Bush's economy.
Yeah, for 8 years it was Bush's economy.
And as soon as it turns around and under
Trump in 1 year, it's O'Connor.
That's my economy.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You can't make this stuff up. I know. Comedy writers couldn't sit here and invent this script.
Yeah, and Trump could say, just sit down, Obama. Sit back and watch how it's really done.
Right.
You can see all the mistakes you made by shutting down everything that was pro-business and all the regulations you stuck on to shut down business and make sure business couldn't expand, and chased all the jobs overseas and jacked up prices here to where it couldn't perform. Yeah, you were real smart. You knew business how to do it. Yeah. Let you come back and be a leader.
Yeah, and there's a guy who was a bum, worth nothing when he went in the White House, and now he's worth, what, $300 million?
Now he just bought a $14 million house on the shoreline.
He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars in an 8-year career as president. Yeah, nothing.
By being a government worker.
Nothing fishy there.
Mm-mm. From community organizer to...
Well, same way with the Clintons. I mean, they are still bums. They're riffraff.
And Biden reported $17 million in income last year. And under Biden's own new tax program that he wants to propose, he will not have to pay any Social Security tax next year under his proposed income tax that he wants to implement. Let that sink in. Right now, he would have to pay income tax. Under his new proposed income tax, he would not.
Right.
Yeah, let that sink in. And he makes $17 million a year.
Everybody else is going to pay, though. You can count on that.
Yeah.
Yep. You, me, and the rest. Even the people out on the north end of the county are going to, end up paying a higher percentage of their income than anybody else. And some of the big wigs around here, they'll be in the same shape as Biden. They don't care, but most everybody else is going to be hurting for some money.
Yep, he's designed this tax plan right around his income, so that he doesn't pay, but you do. Because they took his plan and the tax experts went through his tax returns just to see how it would shake out for Biden. And boy, did they find a earful of that. Couple other things that are going on that you need to know so you don't sound stupid today. Kroger is launching a web marketplace program to compete with Amazon and Walmart. Good luck with that. According to Nielsen, streaming grew to more than 25% of total TV minutes viewed in the second quarter. However, the top 15 traditional U.S. TV platforms lost more than 1.5 million users, marking the sixth straight quarter in which the industry shed 1 million or more customers.
Interesting.
In other words, cable is dying. So is not cable. Cable is dying. Satellite TV is dying.
Satellite TV is dead.
The latest shortage during the COVID-19 outbreak is Diet Dr. Pepper. But they're trying to get the stocks back up. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden's VP pick Kamala Harris is worth an estimated $6 million, according to Forbes. Reportedly, she made more money writing her memoirs than her salary as a U.S. senator.
Her memoirs?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Shouldn't be able to make that kind of money while you're a senator. You know, something wrong with that. All right, here's your news, sports, and weather.
We expect partly to mostly cloudy skies for the day today. Later this afternoon, it's about a 40 to 50% chance for scattered showers and storms. And some of the rain or thunderstorms will be slow moving, so it could dump some heavy rainfall. The high in the mid 80s to about 90. Mostly cloudy tonight, scattered showers and storms, about a 50% chance. The low in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, scattered showers and storms likely. Our high temperature in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Historic. It's a word we're hearing used a lot when it comes to the newly inked peace agreement between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. The pact will result in full normalization of diplomatic relations between the two countries. President Trump says historic is an apt description of the accord.
Not since the Israel-Jordan peace treaty was signed more than 25 years ago has so much progress been made towards peace in the Middle East.
But Iran and Turkey are fuming. Iran calls the deal a dagger plunged into the backs of the Palestinian people. The BBC's Yolanda Nell has more from Jerusalem.
The Palestinians feel betrayed. Past peace plans promised diplomatic relations with powerful Arab states only when their conflict with Israel had been solved. Recently, they've been fighting Israeli plans to annex parts of the West Bank, which they want for a future state. Tonight, the UAE justified what it called its bold step, saying Israel had now agreed not to take action.
President Trump predicts the deal will encourage other Arab states to make peace with Israel. The American Academy of Pediatrics out with new guidance on face masks for children. It says all youngsters 2 and older, even most of those with underlying health conditions, can safely wear face coverings. An Academy official says masks are going to keep your kids safe from infections, especially when they're around other kids. The Academy says children get used to masks just as they have gotten used to other safety measures like wearing a bicycle helmet. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures have now turned mixed. The Dow futures are down 76 points, while NASDAQ futures are 25 points higher ahead of this morning's opening bell. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's total.
Who is this prophet to the whole country? Does one man really have the insight to know what's really happening? Get his free book at prophettoamerica.com. Is God's protective hedge around this country really gone? Can we expect worse than the coronavirus? Go to prophettoamerica.com. That's prophettoamerica.com and download the free book, A Fresh Wind. Go to prophettoamerica.com. That's prophettoamerica.com.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. Relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
Dodger Stadium will become a Los Angeles voting venue in November.
In cooperation with a nonprofit coalition called More Than a Vote, the Dodgers will make their stadium available to any registered voter in Los Angeles County for a 5-day period during the election. The LA Lakers' LeBron James is one of the figures who helped create More Than a Vote as an outreach against what's seen as voter suppression. The Dodgers are the first Major League Baseball franchise to open their facilities in this way, although the stadium and its surrounding property has hosted the county's largest COVID-19 testing site, including emergency equipment and food distribution for the needy. George Manzani reporting.
In Beirut, the search for answers following the massive warehouse explosion goes on. French investigators taking the lead. They're hunting for clues about the explosion that wrecked much of the capital city. FBI investigators expected to join the investigation. News and analysis, townhall.com. Well, the Big Three will be represented at the U.S. Open after all.
Novak Djokovic has announced he'll enter the Grand Slam tournament and the hard court tune-up preceding it in New York. Djokovic initially complained about the U.S. Tennis Association's plans to try to protect people from the coronavirus pandemic with such measures as limiting the size of players' entourages, going so far as to say he didn't know whether he would participate. Djokovic has won 3 of his 17 Grand Slam titles at the U.S. Open and was runner-up there 5 times. By playing this year, he'll have a chance to narrow the gap between him and the only 2 men with more major trophies, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal. Jeremy House reporting.
Yale University says it's dismayed by the Justice Department's discrimination allegation, calling it meritless. The government accusing Yale of discriminating against Asian and white applicants in violation of federal civil rights law. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The greatest comeback of all time is underway. Remember to shop local businesses. A reminder from Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
Cooper Ford in Carthage. Family owned and family friendly. Your hometown dealer that understands what it's like down on Main Street, at church on Sundays, or in the backyard on a hot summer night. Cooper Ford knows that things are uncertain for a lot of folks, but that doesn't mean that you have to do without the affordability and dependability of a new vehicle from Cooper Ford. Right now, get 0% APR financing on most new Ford cars, trucks, or SUVs, with huge hometown discounts for qualified buyers. Shop Cooper Ford's huge inventory, and if they don't have what you want, they can get it the next day in most cases. Truth is, it may be a while before things get back to normal, but Cooper Ford is in it for the long haul, every step of the way. And that includes certified service after the sale, with no games, no gimmicks, just upfront pricing and a commitment to doing what's right. Just off 15501 in Carthage, or on the web at cooperford.net. Thank you for your continued support from everyone at Cooper Ford in Carthage. Always working hard to be your hometown dealer.
This is Dr. Terry Ann Sams of Sandhills Weekend Dental. I know some of you are overdue for a cleaning and checkup, and we are excited to welcome a new dental hygienist to our team. Her name is Katie. I can't wait for you to meet her. Give us a call. We are here Wednesdays through Saturdays at 910-687-4423 or visit sandhillsweekenddental.com. 910-687-4423.
This time of year, it's hard to know whether to put on a coat or short sleeves, not to mention whether to use the heat or AC. But one thing that is predictable is you absolutely need to service your heating and air system to avoid costly repairs or replacements down the road. Call Four Seasons Heating and Air to schedule your service checkup before the summer gets here and it becomes an emergency. Four Seasons Heating and Air, the company that wants you to get comfortable with them. Call 235-0606. That's 235-0606.
Keeping the interior surfaces of your car clean has never been more important. So how do you sanitize your interior safely? Hey, it's Anthony from Champion Car Wash and Detail Shop with a pro detailer's tip. Logically, bleach, ammonia, Clorox wipes, or Lysol would be the best products to use inside your vehicle to clean and sanitize, right? However, these products are most often too harsh for the delicate surfaces of today's vehicles. So what can you use? Use a simple soap and water solution to clean the interior surfaces first. While it won't kill germs, it'll remove dirt, grime, and contaminants sitting on the surface. Afterward, you can use a 70% isopropyl alcohol solution sprayed on a microfiber towel, not directly on the surface, to wipe down the vehicle hot hot spots like your steering wheel, radio buttons, door handles, etc. A 70% isopropyl alcohol mix ensures maximum effectiveness of the sanitizing wipe down. As with any product you're going to use on your car, always be sure to test this on an inconspicuous spot to ensure color fastness and effectiveness in your own vehicle. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call Champion Car Wash and Detail Shop, 692-5060.
Brick's Wood-Fired Pizza in the Kohl Shopping Center is now open. In addition to the great wood-fired pizzas, Brick's has wood-fired wings cooked in the brick oven, all made fresh daily. Your choice of craft beers on tap and a variety of wines. The waitstaff is following safety measures and seating is more than 6 feet apart. Dine in or go to the outside patio. Jump into the fire at Brick's Wood-Fired Pizza, Kohl Shopping Center, Southern Pines. Open every day at 11 a.m. It's better than ever.
You can jump into the fire.
Forget what you know about carpet. Aberdeen Carpet and Flooring has Valera high-performance carpet by Shaw Floors. Designed for beauty and high performance, this carpet is like no other. From top to bottom, Valera is built for protection, making cleanup a breeze and will stay beautiful in your home for many years to come. Come see us at Aberdeen Carpet and Flooring today. We're located at 2314 Highway 5 near Habitat for Humanity. Open 9 to 4 Monday through Saturday. Go online to aberdeencarpet.com or visit us on Facebook for more information. Then call 910-944-6204 to schedule your free estimate.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. Governor Roy Cooper took time out of a pandemic briefing to recognize a local government leader who died from coronavirus. He says that Washington Mayor Mac Hodges was a strong advocate for his community.
I've seen such an outpouring of affection for him and his family. I know that this was a tough fight for him. This is a cruel virus. And, hopefully it gives people inspiration to keep doing things to try to slow the spread.
Friends and the entire community of Washington remembering the mayor, Mac Hodges, 69, who died at Vidant Medical Center in Greenville. Congressman Greg Murphy also tells WITN News.
And it goes to show you also that this virus is real. We have to continue to use the precautions and the safety measures to try to keep our most vulnerable safe.
CBS News White House correspondent Weijia Zhang has reaction from the White House to the latest book of alleged revelations about Mr. Trump from his former fixer, Michael Cohen.
The White House is responding to those experts saying they are, quote, fan fiction written by a, quote, sad and desperate man who's just doing it to make money from book sales.
CBS News correspondent Margaret Brennan has the latest on Tropical Storm Josephine.
The Atlantic hurricane season is barreling along at a record pace with the 10th named storm forming today. That's the earliest date ever. Tropical Storm Josephine is expected to gain strength as it passes near the Caribbean islands this weekend, but it's not expected to threaten the east coast of the U.S.
A 5-year-old Wilson boy has been laid to rest only days after he was shot while riding his bike. Cannon Hennett's stepfather, Lee Parker, tells ABC 11.
People have done for us all around, from Australia, Ohio, Colorado. I mean, it don't stop.
You're listening to NCN News.
Farm Credit has helped generations of farm families buy land, build homes, grow their farms. At Farm Credit, we're a relationship lender that understands you and your individual needs. We take great pride in financing life and business, providing sound financial solutions for your home or farming operation. We're your one-stop full-service lender. Dependable credit, competitive mortgage rates, and convenient offices to serve you. Visit farmcreditofnc.com to find your local office. Equal housing lender.
2020, another big year for North Carolina politics. Republicans and Democrats battling for the state's electoral votes, competing for the governor's mansion, control of the General Assembly, the top job in the state Supreme Court. Carolina Journal covers all the action. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your best source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Israel and the United Arab Emirates have reached a peace agreement under U.S. mediation.
Israelis are hailing the peace agreement with the United Arab Emirates, the first with an Arab state in 26 years.
We look forward to the day when there will be peace for all of us.
But Palestinians say it's treason.
For the Palestinian people, it accomplished nothing.
They say there can be no peace without the creation of a Palestinian state.
Robert Berger, CBS News, Jerusalem.
The State Board of Elections says in the coming weeks you will see a lot of mailings from non-government groups. Mailings also often contain instructions on how to fill out the enclosed absentee ballot application. State and county election officials never randomly call or text or go door to door asking you to file an absentee ballot. State Elections Director Karen Brinson Bell tells CBS 17.
In some cases, these outreach efforts may confuse or mislead voters.
A 9-year-old Forsyth County boy is in critical but stable condition this morning after police say he was shot in the neck. No other word on his condition. From Dallas, CBS News correspondent Maria Villarreal on how the pandemic has put the very existence of many bars and restaurants in jeopardy.
Nationwide, bars and restaurants are struggling to stay open, and workers are just trying to survive.
I bought a house, and I lost my job here.
General Manager Tommy Donahue says business at this 49-year-old neighborhood bar in Dallas, Milo Butterfingers, has been outright dismal, with liquor sales down more than 50% compared to a year ago.
What hurts you the most about the situation?
Well, they're my family. We've been together. Most of my 18 employees have been with me between 10 and 20 years, if not longer.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Our showers increased across the area yesterday. We have scattered showers and storms in our forecast again this afternoon. It's about a 40 to 50% chance, and any of the slow-moving storms could dump heavy rain. The end result could be localized flooding. The high in the mid-80s to about 90. A 50% chance for storms tonight, the low in the low 70s. Up to 60% chance for scattered showers and storms tomorrow. It's mostly cloudy. Some of that rain could be heavy. The high in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we have cloudy skies, 74 degrees, humidity 97%, dew point 73, pressure is 29.99, winds north-northeast at 3, visibility up to 10 statute miles. It's 8:15. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Friday. An Aberdeen man with a criminal history was arrested Thursday and is facing 13 charges. Jacqueline Anthony Blue, 20, faces charges of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, possession of firearms by felon, robbery with dangerous weapon, other firearm charges, and numerous drug charges. Southern Pines Police Captain Charles Campbell said the individual whose firearm was stolen from his car on August 12th knew the suspect and had agreed to meet him. After the firearm was stolen, the individual chased the suspect's car while calling the police for assistance. North Carolina public health officials have announced a major reporting error in the number of coronavirus tests conducted since the start of the pandemic. North Carolina previously reported having more than 2 million COVID-19 tests performed. Officials now say that is 200,000 more than were actually performed. They blame LabCorp. DHHS Secretary Mandy Cohen says the company gave different numbers when it reported electronically and manually. She noted the error doesn't affect data on key metrics such as the number of confirmed cases and deaths. As of today, Duke's first football game broadcast will be Saturday, September 12th at Notre Dame. Airtime and kickoff is yet to be determined. And the North Carolina High School Athletic Association has updated the football schedule for the coming season. The first day of practice now will be February 8th. The first game of the season will be February 26th. And the championship game will be on April 9th. There will be a maximum of 7 regular season games, and only 1 game per week is allowed. That's your WEEB local news this morning from the Sand Hill Sentinel, and you can go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:18, time for sports. That's next right here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Dougie Hamilton slapped in the go-ahead goal with 11:30 left in the third, and James Reamer stopped 33 shots to lead the Hurricanes to a 3-2 victory over the Boston Bruins last night from the Eastern Conference bubble in Toronto. Last night's game played a day after the Bruins won the delayed double overtime series opener that featured a controversial goal that upset Rod Brindamore to the level that he publicly criticized the way officials dealt with his goal challenge, calling the league a joke and the botched call a crime scene. The NHL fined Brind'Amour $25,000 for his comments. Canes owner Tom Dundon posted a picture of the check he wrote on Twitter Thursday, written to the league for $25,017. In addition, the league issued Brind'Amour a conditional $25,000 fine for any similar comments he might make over the next calendar year. With that, Roddy B says he's now keeping his mouth shut.
I'm just going to avoid those questions. I think I'll get in trouble.
Now, he was asked last night how he felt about the Hurricanes' effort in Game 2.
Oh, I loved it. There's a lot at stake, obviously. There's a lot of adversity and things happen in the game, and you have to be willing to adapt and kind of fight through it. And I thought at every turn, everything that kind of seemed to go against us, the guys just bounced back. So proud of the effort.
Hurricanes and Bruins series now knotted at 1 game each. Game 3 is tomorrow. Columbus Blue Jackets and Dallas Stars also tied their NHL first-round series with wins against the Tampa Bay Lightning and Calgary Flames, respectively. The Vegas Golden Knights have a 2-0 lead after their win over Chicago. The NCAA has called off fall championship events except for major college football because of the limited number of schools competing in sports, such as men's and women's soccer and women's volleyball during the first semester. NCAA President Mark Emmert made the announcement in a video posted on Twitter.
We can't reduce our commitment to these young men and women. Let's not think of this as it's done and over, this right off the fall. No, we need to think about how do we use the fall to support them and everything they do.
The ACC, meanwhile, is continuing to move ahead with plans to kick off the football season next month. This is NCN Sports.
Hurricanes are not just a coastal problem. Their impacts can be felt hundreds of miles inland, and significant damage can occur without it being a major hurricane. Alternative Power, your North Carolina Generac Power professionals, encourage you to determine your own risk and have a plan. It's important to recognize warnings and alerts and take necessary precautions. Alternative Power guards homes against extended outages with the Generac Automatic Standby Generator. Alternative Power is North Carolina's Generac experts. See more at alternativepower.com.
2020, another big year for North Carolina politics. Republicans and Democrats battling for the state's electoral votes, competing for the governor's mansion, control of the General Assembly, the top job in the state Supreme Court. Carolina Journal covers all the action. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your best source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
In the NBA, it will be the Portland Trailblazers against the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA's Western Conference play-in series. The Trailblazers advanced with a win over the Nets, and the Grizzlies secured a spot by downing the league-leading Milwaukee Bucks last night from the NBA bubble near Orlando. Harold Varner III, Tom Hogue, and Roger Sloan each shot an 8 under 62 Thursday to share the first-round lead at the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro, the PGA Tour's final regular season event before the FedEx Cup playoffs. Hogue had the chance to take the lead alone, but a bogey on the final hole dropped him into a tie. Varner and Hogue tied their career round lows on the tour. For Sloan, it was his best ever professional round. Harris English was fourth at 64. Past Masters champ Patrick Reed led a group another stroke behind at 65 at Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
My name is Tony Keith of Keith Hardware in Carthage, North Carolina. I'm the third generation of a family-owned business. We've been in business for 83 years. We sell live bait, crickets, minnows, and worms, fishing tackle, nuts and bolts and screws by the piece. You can still come in and get nails weighed out by the pound or ones or twos, however you'd like.
The guys, they know what they're doing. You don't have to ask for service. You tell them what you need. If they ain't got it, usually they can conjure it up.
Keith Hardware has been a tradition in this town for as long as I've been in business, 42 years, and they run a good business and they're good people.
I came in with 2 pieces of plumbing. I handed it to this guy, and he took off the back and picked it up and brought it back. Their knowledge is invaluable to me.
With Keith Hardware for 28 years. I rent the building from them next door. And Tony and Ginger are doing an excellent job. I'm proud of them.
Come visit Keith Hardware today at 207 Monroe Street in Carthage.
We're just an old-fashioned hardware store.
Henning's Tasty Indian Bistro, a fine dining restaurant specializing in North and South Indian cuisine. Their internationally renowned chef takes extreme care in food preparation using the highest quality ingredients. Located inside the Days Inn Hotel in Southern Pines, Henning's has a full bar with wine and cocktails. They offer catering to large groups, corporate events, and rooms for private dining. Henning's Tasty Indian Bistro inside the Days Inn off Highway 1 and Morganton Road.
Henning's Taste of India in Southern Pines welcomes you to the amazing world of authentic Indian cuisine. Using only the freshest ingredients and spices, Henning's Taste of India's menu includes delicacies from northern and southern India and Nepal. Now introducing a new menu filled with mouth-watering dishes for meat lovers, vegetarians, and vegans alike. They're located at 1720 off Highway 1, right across the street from Mac's Breakfast Anytime. Henning's Taste of India, Moore County's authentic Indian cuisine.
If you're like a lot of folks, you're probably ready to jump out of the ordinary and into something completely different, like Flowland. Unlike any other place around, you might call it a counterculture department store. Flowland has an eclectic assortment of funky apparel, skateboards, disc golf accessories, unique gifts, and hip home decor. But Flowland is known for alternative health products like CBD. You've probably heard that many people find CBD very helpful for pain, anxiety, and just a feeling of well-being. So many folks are discovering its benefits, and at Flowland you'll find CBD in all forms: oils, topical creams, vapes, edibles, even CBD for your pets. Many are locally sourced from Farm Life Hemp of Carthage. And here's another thing. Flowland staff is serious about their product knowledge, and they're really nice people too. Visit someplace different. Flowland, US 1 in Aberdeen, diagonally across from Texas Roadhouse next to AutoZone. Flowland, online at shopflowland.com.
War Dogs Army Surplus. Moore County's largest selection of Army surplus has expanded and open for business. Since acquiring the adjoining building, War Dogs will now be able to provide Moore County with even more quality, high-end Army surplus. Bring in your Army gear, and War Dogs will match any legitimate offer from another competitor and beat it by 10%. That's right. War Dogs will match their offer and add 10% to your wallet. Open Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and 11 to 4 on Saturdays. Located at 675 West Broad Street in Southern Pines, right across the street from Beefeaters, or call them at 910-920-7749. That's 920-7749. War Dogs. We offer more and sell for less.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
Hey, this is Steve Leader Adams. You know, for many years I've had arthritis in my right shoulder. I was at the point that surgery was the only option. Then I discovered pressure wave therapy, available at Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes. Pressure wave therapy is a machine that concentrates pulses of pressure waves into your joint at a rate of 2,000 pulses per minute. The treatment is non-invasive and there is no downtime. Pressure waves help your body restore blood flow to your damaged joints and can even remove bone spurs, and works on almost any joint in the body, including knees, hips, feet, and elbows. I've gone to only being able to raise my arms from 90 degrees to a full 360-degree motion. You can live pain-free too, without going under a surgeon's knife. Give Dr. Sharon Wright a call at Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes. 910-673-2225. That's 910-673-2225.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is brought to you by Quality Built Homes, the Sandhills' #1 home builder, developer, and remodeler. With over 1,500 homes built in Moore County, we earn our name every day. Quality Built Homes, 910-944-7453.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. If you have a dog and you love dogs, you know that although they don't speak any English, they can still communicate with you. There are lots of cases where a dog has saved their master from fire or from some other disaster. I got to tell you what Colt, the German Shepherd, let me know a few months ago. He was just a puppy. He'd never really been tall enough to look out a living room window. As he got taller, one day he realized two things all at the same time. One, there was such a thing as a window. And two, you could see out of a window. It was like he was saying, John, you believe this? Look, you can see what's outside, man. This is cool. He apparently thought he had made that discovery. He also feels like it's part of his job as a dog to bark really loud every time he notices something outside. In a way, that's nice. It keeps us from having surprise visitors. However, Colt opens up on everything: squirrels, cars, bikes, birds, and leaves blowing by. He finally learned how to look out a window, but now we're having to teach him what he needs to pay attention to and what he should ignore. He's learning really fast. I know newspaper reporters who have some idea they have a window they should look through. They're supposed to have skills that will help them discover things that we should know. I wish the pathetic pilot would hire a couple folks like that. I hope everybody has a good day. From the Zumwalt Zone.
We expect partly to mostly cloudy skies for the day today. Later this afternoon, it's about a 40 to 50% chance for scattered showers and storms. And some of the rain will be, or thunderstorms will be slow moving, so it could dump some heavy rainfall. The high in the mid 80s to about 90. Mostly cloudy tonight, scattered showers and storms, about a 50% chance. The low in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, scattered showers and storms likely. Our high temperature in the mid to upper 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Good morning!
Thank God it's Friday!
It's Friday, pumpkin!
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
TGIF.
It is Friday, right?
Have a great weekend, everybody!
It was a Friday I never forget. Thank God it's Friday.
We want to put on a show!
Getting ready to kick some mad flavor in your ear. I'm a big fan of the show.
It's showtime.
Laid back and mellow. Ain't in no hurry at all. Sunning and funning. Everybody loves to ball. Sanding my shoes. Dancing on the sunny sky. Summertime grooving. Watching all the girls go by. Beach. That's where I wanna be.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Everybody in the studio's posing for pictures right now. Say what?
It's because we got faces for radio.
Yeah. Welcome back to round 2 of Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams. Don't forget, of course, this program is being seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you now at talk973.com or talk1041.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. On your mobile device, you get to it with your YouTube app. Put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search. And if you're on your mobile device, you can also get just our audio stream by itself by using the streaming apps, such as TuneIn, iTunes, or Streama. Many other apps work also. Put WEEB into those search parameters. And if you're on our website at talk973.com or 1041.com, you go to the upper right-hand corner of the webpage or any of the web pages there, and the icon says On the Air Listen Live. Click that once, and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. You've heard it, oh heck, for the last month and a half. Partly cloudy, isolated thunderstorms, or in the afternoon and evening. Look for high of 87 today, heat index 94, low tonight 71. Tomorrow more of the same, high of 86, heat index of 94, and Sunday 87 and 92 are the highs and heat index. Right now around the Sandhills, winds of north-northeast at 3, visibility 10 statute miles. Humidity 97, dew point 73, pressure 29.99. It's cloudy 74 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:32, 32 past the hour on this TSIF Thanksgiving Friday. And time for our Friday round 2 table. And here's David. Or John, whoever wants to speak first.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, well, I will. Let me just, by way of introduction, of course, David's here, and Emily Stack, and the Colonel's over there in the corner, and he's already let us know that if we say anything wrong, he's going to jump in. Very quickly, I want to say that we had an event yesterday on the Hoke County Courthouse steps, and it was primarily an announcement by the Frederick Douglass Foundation. And I'm going to turn it over to David at this point.
Well, I was proud to stand alongside Clarence Henderson and Kevrick McCain and Abdul Ali with the Frederick Douglass Foundation. And, it was a Frederick Douglass Foundation event. And as I said, I was glad to stand alongside him to give my perception of, what went wrong. But there are serious allegations of some happenings in the Hoke County Judicial District, and among the allegations that came out from a whistleblower are that in Hoke County there's 19 people, at least 19 people, held over a year without a trial. And extreme examples is one guy held for 15 years, one person held for 8 years, and another person held for 5 years. And these are allegedly people held without a trial. And, of course, the vast majority of these are African Americans or Lumbee Indians. So the Frederick Douglass Foundation was rightfully concerned about these allegations. Allegations include, in addition to that there's many people, at least 4 have been identified that have been held in prison in the merged judicial district of Hoke and Scotland County for over a year without their probable cause hearing, right? So it's my understanding that North Carolina state law requires a probable cause hearing within 15 days, not to mention constitutional rights, civil rights, and all kinds of federal issues. So the Frederick Douglass Foundation became concerned, and they want an investigation into these whistleblower accusations.
Well, it is important to note that they are merely asking for an investigation. They're not declaring anyone guilty, but this has gone on for quite a while. We talked about it on this radio station months ago, and it's so good to see someone finally demanding or trying to get something done. I want to point out also, David, that Clarence Henderson, I know we've talked about him. I know that almost all of you know who he is, and a whole bunch of you know him. He's been at several Republican events. He's spoken at schools. David has become very good friends with him and has gotten him in some very wonderful venues. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, knows him. He goes and leads prayer breakfasts and different things that I'm not even aware of. Clarence can tell you about those things when you meet him one day. Man was sitting on a lunch counter in 1960 as a young black boy, and he was a young black boy. He was just a kid, and I was 11 years old.
He was finishing up his senior year in high school. Had friends at North Carolina A&T or whatever the university was there. They invited him along on the second day, and his parents didn't even know. He was living at home, and his parents didn't even know that he was sitting at the lunch counter at the Woolworths in 1960.
And the point is, you talk about courage. He was just a kid. I was 11 then. I'm 71 now, and Mr. Clarence Henderson is still standing up to injustice. But you know what? He's a very conservative Republican. He's not out there screaming to tear down courthouses. He's just asking for folks, good people who are supposed to protect us under the law, to look into these allegations and see if there's anything to them or not.
Well, and let me, I'm not going to pass judgment. The whistleblower information is damning, but the Frederick Douglass Foundation, they're part of a national organization and they have ties to national think tanks and stuff. So my guess is that they'll get the federal authorities to look into it, and maybe the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, and the chips will fall where they may.
And I've got to make an announcement here that I think is very important. Steve is the owner of the radio station sitting here with us, and he's always been, I think this is his philosophy in running a station and presenting the news. The mainstream media will protect a Democrat at all costs. We see that over and over. There's no reason to even go into any examples of it. However, in this station, no one gets a pass. No one. The reason that we criticize Democrats on here time after time after time is not because we enjoy. We present facts. We don't come in here and talk about them being stupid looking or driving a crummy looking car. We talk about facts, things they've done. And let me tell you something, and I hope we're very, very clear about this. Republicans don't get passes either. The only people who really get a pass is a true conservative Republican. But let me tell you, listen to me, and all you moo-moo wearing mob bunch that want to pull that little quote out and type it on your little Facebook pathetic pages, they don't get a pass either unless they are actually doing things that uphold the Constitution. And that's why we rarely talk about them, because a true conservative Republican upholds the law and does what is right. So no matter who you are, if we're going to talk about things that you've done on this radio station, then we're going to tell the truth as best we can. And we get no particular joy in picking on the same people over and over.
I want to talk about the points that I made in my speech yesterday. And it was nice to stand out in the sun. I kind of broke the sheen off my pasty white complexion a bit. But, my concerns about this were twofold. Is how does something like this happen, assuming these allegations are true? How does something like this happen in North Carolina, in Hoke County, in the 21st century? And when I first heard about this and thought about it, I came up with two conclusions. One is, we have law and justice in this country, or are supposed to have, and these sort of things always seem to happen in Democrat-controlled areas. The fact of the matter is, Hoke County, the judicial system is dominated by Democrats. They have Democrat judges, they have a Democrat district attorney, and the sheriff is a Democrat. And, it's inexcusable. Again, assuming these are true, how did the Democrat judges let this go on? How did the Democrat district attorney office let this go on? It's unacceptable. So there was a failure, once again, in a Democrat-controlled area. The second point I would make are, where are the advocacy organizations? Our society has advocacy organizations that are supposed to prevent these type of things, watchdogs, if you will. And the watchdog is both the media and organizations. So let's talk a bit about the Southern Poverty Law Center, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the ACLU. So several of the, and other organizations. Those organizations, or most of those organizations, are very active in Hoke County. So where were they? Why did the Frederick Douglass Foundation have to come in from out of the area to advocate for civil and constitutional rights for African Americans, Lumbee Indians, and other minorities in Hoke County? Well, I can answer that question for you, and I'm going to answer it this way. If that was a Republican district attorney, if those were Republican judges, I have zero doubt that the Southern Poverty Law Center would be sending attorneys. The NAACP would have had a mob out there demanding their ouster. but it wasn't Republicans, it was Democrats. So all those organizations who are supposed to be advocates and protect those people's civil and constitutional rights, all you heard were crickets chirping. You know, you see it in the Kavanaugh confirmations versus, outrageous behavior. Look at the National Organization of Women. You know, they actually protected Bill Clinton. They actually protect these sexual predators on the Democrat side. But then the minute a Republican, goes, wow, Emily, you're dressed nice, then they pounce like a cougar, right? So, it's a failure of the advocacy organizations to do advocacy. They've just been co-opted and become, attack dogs for the left.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely all about whatever the narrative is they want. If it's going to suit whatever they want to do, their soup of the day, they'll do it. For instance, let's say that it came down to nothing, that it was just really bad record keeping, and it was a Republican that was in control of these people that, the records that said they had been locked up for so long without trial. Then it would come down to the fact that the Republican was in office or taking care of these. They would still be on trial because of terrible record keeping.
Oh, yeah, the attacks would be relentless from those organizations.
And that would just be a minor offense, technically, just bad record keeping, though that's not something you need in your town, obviously.
Well, your point is well taken. Of course, when you throw in the 15 years in jail and try to blame it on bad record keeping, it goes to a whole new level. But something else here. You know who else would be on them if they kept someone in jail for 15 years without due process?
The Attorney General of the North Carolina.
And Republicans. We would not put up with that. One of our own even.
Correct.
We don't stand for this kind of stuff. But they will not ever admit to what they've done.
Well, so let's talk about the role. Yeah, and you are correct. If those were If those are Republicans, I would be every bit as appalled as I am now. And I would be speaking out every bit as much, because make no mistake about it, these people who are in prison, they are bad dudes. You would not invite them over for your tea party. But
well, right now they're in jail. It's a fine distinction, but we want to make sure that in case there are folks listening, they haven't even gotten a trial so they could go to prison.
Right. They're in jail. Apparently they're held in the Hope County Jail, assuming these whistleblower accusations are true. But let's assume they are. They are bad dudes. You would not invite them to your tea party. But the fact of the matter is, they deserve their day in court. It doesn't matter what they did. You either try them or you set them free. That's your choices.
Well, that's exactly right.
I mean, these aren't gulags, and this isn't Siberia.
Well, you can also tell that the Hope County people are typical government bureaucrats, because they're sitting on the county nickel right now instead of the state nickel.
Right. Oh, yeah, and that cost, the taxpayers of Hope County hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s to hold them in the jail.
Exactly.
So, but let's shift a little bit to the North Carolina Attorney General. It's my understanding that before he became governor, Cooper was the Attorney General for 16 years. Is that true?
I don't know how many years, but a long time.
I heard it was 16 years. Someone's probably fact-checking that now. And then, obviously, the current guy, who's a Democrat, has been there for 4 years. So the Democrats have controlled the North Carolina Attorney General's office for at least 20 years. Where was the North Carolina Attorney General? And that was a point that both Clarence Henderson and Abdul Ali, man, he was on all cylinders, and he's like, where's the Attorney General? Why is the Democrat Attorney General not looked into this a decade ago?
That's a good point. I want to give a few kudos here and then throw a barb. The Hope County Sheriff's Department yesterday had some deputies out there, and I was glad to see them, because you never know who might try to disrupt a speech like this, because they don't want the truth coming out.
And that was appropriate, because
very appropriate.
When we had our thing in the Southern Pines Park, the Southern Pines Police had some officers standing back, because like you said, you never know who will show up. So I
was very glad to see him. I felt like maybe the gentleman up there may need some protection. Who knows? And they stood off in the distance. You hardly noticed them. They were friendly enough, and I thought nothing about it. Now here's the part where I'm going to insert some personal, tell a story and give you my interpretation of it. The person who has the most to lose, if these allegations turn out to be true, is the elected. What am I trying to think of? Our brand new elected District Attorney. Sorry. And for Moore County and Hope County. if these allegations are true, that's the person that has the most to lose. Well, he came out yesterday, early on, and stood out in front of the group of people who were speaking and started taking pictures of them with his iPhone, which I thought that's not probably very good because it's a flashback to intimidation. But anyway, and then I noticed he had a pistol strapped onto his belt, clear for all to see. So I went over to him and I said to him, this looks an awful lot like you're trying to intimidate these guys. I didn't tell him, but I thought it's very poor judgment. Very poor judgment for you, the guy who's going to be in charge of all this, to be standing here taking pictures of the speakers with a gun on. Well, I started trying to take a picture of his gun. He kept turning away. And finally, he took off, and I got some pictures then, and I posted them on Facebook. And he came back, and I told him, and I might have been wrong to do this, but I told him, I can see the fear in your eyes. And folks, I could. Now, again, that all calls for a judgment call, except for the part that he had on a pistol, and he was taking pictures. Now, you may say, well, why are you doing this, John? This guy's a Republican. Well, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. We call it as we see it here, and I think it was very, very inappropriate for him to do that. But that is not this radio station. It's not David. It's not Emily. It's me, and I wanted to point that out, and the pictures are on Facebook.
My only comment on that is, look, there were 3 conservative black men standing up in front of the Hope County Courthouse yesterday, right? There was Clarence Henderson, Kevin McCain, and Abdul Ali. And I was just fortunate that Hope County didn't release the dogs and have fire hoses on him because, that wasn't outside the realm of possibility with 3 conservative African Americans speaking in Hope County. It wasn't out of the question.
Well, David, I know some people probably gasped when you said that, but quite frankly, I thought to myself, you're out here taking pictures of these guys, one of them who felt like he was going to get killed in 1960. You're wearing a gun. The only thing missing is the German Shepherd, and of course, you bought in the hoses. That's just something I wanted to throw in. I think it was completely inappropriate.
Can we shift gears?
Shift. Do you know how to drive a standard shift?
Why, yes, I did. Do you know what I did Monday and Tuesday of this week?
Yeah, I do. Tell us.
Lisa and I were out on the Charlotte Motor Speedway on a 2-day. We were racing Mustangs, and it was awesome. And
horses?
Mustangs, no. The day 1 were GT 350s, and day 2 were Ford Performance modified by Ford Mechanics, Ford Performance Mustangs, and it was awesome.
Good. I think you passed me once on the way home.
Now it's difficult not to turn. Well, never mind. I was going to talk about Midland Road drag strip, but I just decided.
Well, you don't need to be getting on the bad side of anybody be prosecuting.
I might move to Lee County.
Just to let you know, though, I did look up the Attorney General before, which was our very own Roy Cooper. He was the one that was in for 16 years.
Yeah, so all this stuff in Hope County happened under Roy Cooper's watch. So once again, there's the Democrat tie-in.
Yep, there it goes.
And that's the point. That's one of the points that the Frederick Douglass Foundation made. Where was old Roy?
Not suiting his agenda.
So last week I talked about the Partners in Progress, and we talked about the Southern Pines Land and Housing Trust, and then we talked about the school that the school board has given away, and then we talked about Frank Quiz, the chairman of the county commissioners. He made a statement that was as reported in the pilot. He said 2 things. He said this whole giveaway where they're doing this back deal to give the old Southern Pines primary to this Southern Pines Land Trust, which wants to have a black community center, as reported by the pilot. This is all reported by the pilot. They want to have an African American credit union. They want to have culinary arts. They want to have all this stuff that, oh, by the way, is just kind of right up the road at Sandhills Community College. And Frank Quiz made a comment of, well, we, the county commissioners, have not talked about this, and then blah, blah, blah. And then he said, but I am absolutely sure it will pass. So, first of all, I'm not sure why Frank talks for the other independent voting members of the county commissioners. And if I was on the county commissioners, I would have pulled Frank aside and had a conversation with him, right? So then I started putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and I'm just covering this real quick as a review because I got additional information. So the pilot reported that the Partners for Progress was one of the organizations that supported this. So I pulled out the board of directors for the Partners in Progress last week, and I went over it. And, you know, I'll say we were surprised to find, but I wasn't surprised to find. I factually reported that Frank Quiz is on the board of directors for the Partners in Progress. I also factually reported that Dr. John Dempsey, president of Sand Hills Community College, who benefited from the bond issue, is on the Partners for Progress board, as is Mr. Grimacy, the superintendent of Moore County Schools, who benefited from the bond issue. And by the way, Partners for Progress supported the bond issue. Then we had most of the leaders of the big banks in this area are on the board of directors. And then I found right here at the bottom, the publisher of the pilot is on the board of directors. So have you ever noticed, by the way, a little editorial comment there, the pilot, and I finally put my finger on the pilot, right? And I hadn't really attacked the pilot on this show. I mean, you guys do a great job of that. No, I haven't. I have not. JD's looking at me. But the pilot does a great job doing community reporting. Man, if you want to be in that gossip circle in Pinehurst and Who's Who, they do a great job of that. Outside of that, if you pay attention, what they report is they report on the schools. Probably a third of their stories are press releases from Sand Hills Community College and the Moore County schools. Because, you know, the Moore County Central Office spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on their Ministry of Propaganda. You know, they got plenty of money for that, but they don't pay their classified staff squat. Anyway, so don't you love the editorial comments I throw in there? So there was a name on here that I couldn't quite put my finger on it, and I did some research yesterday. So Robin Bennett, who's a CPA, actually she's no longer there, she left just a couple months ago, but Robin Bennett, the key is this billet is held by Dixon, Hughes, and Goodman, a CPA firm. And I knew I had seen that name, so I looked it up last week. Guess what the name of the firm is who does the independent audit of Moore County Schools finances?
I'm not a very good guesser, but I think I have an idea.
I don't know if I can connect those two.
Yeah, well, let me, in case you're sitting on the edge of your seat, the firm that audits the Moore County schools is Dixon, Hughes, Goodman. So there it is, folks, right there in front of you. You know, just go to the Partners in Progress website, look at their board of directors, and just form opinions for yourself.
So either it's the smallest world or we've got a lot of backroom deals going on.
You know, I'm not making any comment. I just report. I report, you decide.
Well, I think most folks will decide. You know, you only have to have so much ability to think to link these things together. And I said earlier before we went on the air, David,
well, they're not even trying to hide it. Frank Quiz talks for just like Grimacy and the Board of Education members. I saw him grab, what's her name? Stacy, whatever, on the board. She was about to speak at a Board of Education. We're going to pull a video of this. She was about to speak. She raised her hand to make a point. Grimacy grabbed her arm and pulled it back. Just like Grimacy controls the Board of Education, apparently Frank Quiz speaks for all the independent county commissioners.
Well, we reported on that quite a bit when he grabbed her and cut her off, and so I think a lot of folks know about it. But none of this matters. None of this matters a bit, as I said earlier, unless we get new people elected. We've got to get yourself, David Hensley. We've got to get Bob Levy, and we need you to vote for Philip Holman for school board. If we don't get these current members off, none of this will ever be investigated. None of it will ever come to light. We'll keep these same people on here, and none of this can ever be proven. We've got to get people on the board so they can bring these things out.
Oh, they're going to pull out all stops to keep me off the Board of Education. Because they do not want anyone such as myself and Bob Levy who will ask the obvious questions. And I don't even have to probe very hard. You sit there and listen to the presentations given by the central office. By the way, have you noticed that, like, the second you got whatever, Grimacy, and then you've got his first line of lieutenants, they've all become CEOs. Their title is like Chief Executive Officer for Instruction. You know, there's only one chief executive officer in an organization, but they are so tuned out. What they're trying to do is give those people raises and elevate them so they can create more bureaucracy in the central office underneath them.
Well, David and Emily, I want to tell you both, and Steve and the Colonel, that we literally could speak for hours and hours and hours about school board, present facts to you, and Bob Grimacy, and the school board's rubber stamp of them about all the things that they've done that are terrible, terrible, terrible decisions. And we can talk about business, we can talk about ethics, we can talk about lack of any kind of
accountability.
We can talk about things that appear to be shady and ask this question: why won't they just come on here and let us ask them these questions and just clear themselves once and for all?
Their board of directors, a.k.a. the Board of Education, doesn't even ask them any probing questions. Why would they want us to ask them questions?
Well, apparently they don't. And we've been trying to get them to come on and for a long time. And by the way, I've invited Mike Harden on several times, and all the members of the board. I've invited Grimacy on, and we just can't get them to come on.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for another great show this week.
And lady.
And lady.
Thanks for recognizing me.
Well, the better.
Ellie Mae.
I've been called worse.
Your shirt.
Oh, yeah, I'm dressed like a little cowboy today.
Yeah. All right, so it goes for this Friday and this week. Have yourself a great, safe weekend. We'll see you back bright and early on Monday. Till then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways, because they're the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. So be sure to tell them WEEB asked you to come and support them, because they're the solution to our own comeback here in Moore County. And don't forget also, millions of Americans have fought and have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man and the dogs will see you at the dog park.
When I come back